Hey there, Brandon Lee Sears here again with you, giving you tips, tools, and strategies on how to overcome your fear and self-doubt to tap into your potential for peak performance and exceptional success. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about fear and the science in nailing that audition. We have to understand our auditioning brain. Maintaining high performance levels in rehearsals, auditions, and on stage in order to achieve our goals and stay at the top of our game is crucial to our success in the performing arts. But how do we manage the stress and self-doubt enough to stay at the top of our game while supporting our health and well-being? Now, many seasoned professionals suffer in silence from stage fright, and public speaking is a crippling fear of many others. When performers do not know how to effectively manage stress, we suffer from health issues such as depression, anxiety, and addiction. The most important ability I try to cultivate and develop to be successful in the West End is the ability to manage stress and self-doubt, to overcome and take action in spite of fear. We all have within us infinite potential. If we will only gain an understanding of who we are, the greatness of who we are, we could overcome challenges, meet adversity head on, and take steps to achieve our dreams. So let's get to it. Every thought and emotion that we have is the result of physiological activity in the brain. The relationship between the brain and the mind can help us to understand what's happening when we feel fear. Now, we have a triune brain. We have the neocortex, it's the rational or thinking brain. The limbic brain is the emotional or feeling brain, and the reptilian brain, the brainstem, is instinctual, primitive. The brainstem controls our basic body functions and what these body functions do when we feel in danger: fight, flight, freeze, or faint modes. Now, the limbic system plays a role in emotional learning and emotional memory. The limbic system is where the amygdala links our memories to pleasure and pain in our brains. The neocortex is the seat of consciousness where we weigh the present, imagine a better future, and plan ways to achieve our goals. Also, the neocortex processes creativity and logical thinking so we can make decisions. Fear is a natural physiological occurrence because our brains seek safety first. It is okay to feel fear. We feel fear because we've perceived a threat to our safety. However, we do not have to let this fear manage our decision-making process. Our ability to overcome fear depends on how we respond to meeting challenges. Are we in a reactive state or creative state? In neuroscience research, reactivity is a state where we feel fight or flight. It's a mode that's mapped to the brain stem, leading to expressions of self-doubt and fear and low performance. However, creativity, when we feel inspired, is mapped to the prefrontal cortex, and it's linked to high performance in those individuals who practice qualities of self-awareness, authenticity, achievement, and collaboration. There's a relationship between the amount of resource and demand that our brain calculates to keep us safe. When we perceive that someone or some situation is demanding more resources than we have, we feel threatened and we move into reactive mode. When we are in reactive mode on a chronic basis, stress, self-doubt, it leads to exhaustion, disconnection, and a reduced sense of self-confidence. When we move into a creative mode, we feel resourced enough to meet the demands of the world. In this mode, we can handle a certain amount of stress while feeling challenged. We also feel a sense of love and belonging because we feel competent enough to share and contribute. It's important to consider how we respond to challenges so that we move from instinctual and primitive behavior of seeking out survival and reactivity to acting in ways that are highly creative and self-aware. Have you ever been in a rehearsal process and you felt communicative, open, and you felt emotionally connected to those around you, and you seemed to be having fun and intimately involved and focused when it came to any work that the project was a part of? When we're in a creative state of being, we are authentic, aware, courageous, and collaborate well with others. The feeling and expression of inspiration leads to high performance and fulfillment in a creative environment. Now consider those times when you've been in an audition room and felt overly anxious to the point of confusion. Perhaps you seemed defensive and overly critical and negative toward others and yourself. Someone in reactivity will express the qualities of being overly passive or controlling or defensive. Another expression of reactivity in many performers is perfectionism to prove our self-worth. The expressions of stress and self-doubt lead to low performance and a reactive state of being. I've been involved in processes before where the director or the captains or other creatives involved in the rehearsal process were negative. You know, they had a negative mindset in it, and they were in a reactive state basically. Well, it was hard for others to feel comfortable enough to have creative expression in these rehearsal processes. This overly stressful environment affects the learning. It affects the pickup of choreography. It affects the ability of the performers to make inspired choices that contribute to the piece in an inspiring way, spontaneous creativity. We can take individual responsibility for our own actions and for our own mental health and artistic growth by knowing how to control our mindset. And that comes with knowledge. It comes with understanding. It is your responsibility and no one else's to take the first step and continue to build health and well-being into your creative practice. You will have a higher rate of personal and artistic growth and development when you are in an inspired and creative mindset. Anything is possible. All things are possible when we believe and draw from the deep resources of agency that we have within us to conquer our doubts and fears. I'm going to give you some hacks right now for moving from a reactive state into a creative state. 6 to flip the switch. That's the first hack. Look around the room you're in and notice everything that is orange right now. Now close your eyes. What do you see? Now you probably see orange, or you may have had mental images of other objects that are orange, like fruit. Or you may have tasted an orange if you thought of the fruit initially. We can change our focus. We can be responsible for the way that we see things through mental framing. Changing your focus, acute change of focus, right in the moment. The next time that you're in an audition or a rehearsal and you feel highly stressed, step back, take 6 very slow, deep breaths to hack your physiology. Then reframe your mental state by repeating to yourself, this is not a threat. This is a challenge. Or you can breathe in and out and associate some kind of cognitive cue like spelling out the word joy or faith. Pick one concept or skill to focus on. It can be as simple as smiling while you dance. Like if you're in a dance audition, just say, I'm going to focus on smiling while I dance today. I'm going to focus on giving thanks. I'm going to focus on giving attitude. You know? Or you can focus on nailing certain rhythmic phrases. By narrowing your focus to one thing, you lower the stress by decreasing the amount of demand that your brain perceives. Rather than thinking of, oh my God, I've got to get everything right. I've got to get this job because I got to pay my bills. No, bring it down. Lower your stress levels by thinking on one thing at a time. By doing this, you can move from a sense and a state of reactivity to a state of creativity and fulfillment and enjoyment and engagement in present moment awareness where you are. Second hack, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is paying attention with a sense of openness and curiosity for whatever is rising in the moment. By making a deliberate effort to practice openness and look on whatever the experience is that I'm having right now with curiosity, we can change the amount of stress we're feeling to a manageable level that allows us to work in heightened performance state. When we feel curious, there is no threat, but an attraction to the perceived challenge. I can remember whenever I used to be a swing or first cover, in a West End show. The show always went well for me when I did not perceive it as a threat. When I took a breath, when I got enough sleep, when I was feeling good and I was just having fun on stage, I was always more successful. We joyfully jump at chances that we were previously fearful of, and we no longer allow fear to stop us from accepting those opportunities that are most challenging yet beneficial for our growth when we can look at situations with a sense of openness, acceptance, and curiosity rather than feeling it as a threat. The more we overcome fear to take action and achieve results in the face of fear, the more resilience we build from our experience. This is where the magic happens. This is when we feel connected. This is when we begin to know success. This is when we begin to know success as a default. We can learn from experience through reflection, and that means by taking present learning and attaching and transferring this present learning to past experience. Change and uncertainty is necessary for our personal growth, but it may feel uncomfortable as the brain seeks out safety, which is what it's designed to do. When we begin perceiving new experiences, you may feel uncomfortable. You will feel anxious. There will be this sense of, I don't know what's coming next. But it's okay. Go ahead and jump head first into those situations that you fear. When you can do that, success is yours.